Did you know that the world's oldest known recipe is not for bread, not for soup, but for beer? That's right, this ancient recipe comes from a time when people were carving their secrets into clay tablets, and beer was so valuable it was practically worshipped. Stay tuned, because today we're diving into the surprising foamy history of beer. Beer, a drink as old as civilization itself. In this video, we'll uncover the story behind the world's oldest recipe, trace beer's fascinating journey through ancient cultures, and reveal some truly wild beer-related facts you'll want to share at your next gathering. So, grab a seat and let's start at the beginning. Our story begins around 5,000 years ago in ancient Sumer, in what is now modern-day Iraq. Here, the Sumerians perfected one of the world's oldest known recipes, which happens to be for a beer called sikaru. Written in cuneiform script on clay tablets, this recipe isn't a detailed step-by-step guide but more of a record that shows just how important beer was to these early societies. Beer wasn't just a drink, it was a staple, much like bread, and even had religious significance. The goddess Ninkasi, for example, was worshipped as the deity of beer, and brewers dedicated their work to her. In fact, one of the oldest written poems, the Hymn to Ninkasi, is essentially a recipe for brewing. Fun fact, the Hymn to Ninkasi describes how beer was brewed from barley and bread, with water and a little yeast. It's incredible to think that people were enjoying this drink thousands of years ago. Some things never change. Beer wasn't just consumed, it was currency. The Sumerians valued beer so much that workers, including those who built the pyramids, were often paid in rations of beer. It was also widely used in trade, exchanged for goods across regions. Records showed that the Egyptians followed similar practices, and their love of beer was just as legendary. The ancient Egyptians perfected brewing, creating beers with unique ingredients like dates and herbs. Archaeologists even found evidence of a large-scale brewery dating back to 3000 BCE. In ancient Egypt, beer was believed to be a gift from the gods and was used in various ceremonies. And get this, it was even prescribed as medicine. Beer was also central to festivals and rituals. Sumerian and Egyptian societies hosted beer-centric festivals to honor their gods and goddesses. One popular celebration was the Feast of Drunkenness in ancient Egypt. This wild event celebrated the goddess Hathor, the deity of love, fertility, and, yes, alcohol. Ancient records suggest people would gather for days enjoying music, dance, and of course beer. Engaging pause for another quick fact. Did you know? One of the ways the ancient Egyptians believed they could appease their gods was through a festive party, where they'd drink beer to the point of inebriation. Talk about dedication. Fast forward a few thousand years and beer brewing spread across Europe, transforming along the way. By the Middle Ages, brewing was often done by monks, who began refining techniques and adding hops for preservation. This was a big deal. Hops added flavor and extended beer's shelf life, helping it become a staple beverage in medieval Europe. Monasteries became early breweries, perfecting recipes that are still celebrated today. Beer continued to evolve, especially during the Industrial Revolution, when brewing technology improved and beer production scaled up. Suddenly beer was everywhere, from British pubs to German beer halls, and eventually all across the globe. Beer has come a long way since the days of ancient Sumeria, but did you know these fun facts? Here are some that will surprise you. In the Middle Ages, beer was safer to drink than water, so everyone, even kids, drank a weaker version called small beer. One of the largest beer glasses ever made could hold over 1,000 liters, and it was used to celebrate a German festival in 1993. Monks in Bavaria invented the Doppelbock, a rich, high-calorie beer they used to sustain themselves during fasts. Talk about liquid bread. Japan's oldest brewery, Sapporo, was founded in 1876, and they still use the same yeast strain in some of their beers today. From Sumerian recipes and religious celebrations to medieval monasteries and modern breweries, beer's story is as rich and varied as human history itself. Next time you raise a glass, remember that you're not just drinking a beverage. You're partaking in a 5,000-year-old tradition that's brought people together across time and continents. Ending hook to encourage viewer engagement. If you enjoyed this journey through time, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating Did You Know videos. And drop a comment with your favorite beer fact, or let us know what surprising topic you'd like to see next.